Well, I don't think you can really find one narrative that connects the novels. I believe that an author should change from book to book and change everything, like the subject, the genre. I mean, like challenge yourself from every book. So I won't say that there is some identical narrative. I think that you can say in very general that I care about some things, but it's not. It's like a very general terms. I think that every book is an adventure of itself. Well, this is like a rare opportunity for the author of this book to be ironic, because the characters in this book are two very young people, very capable, very brilliant, with a lot of ambitions and a lot of abilities. Without any ideological efficiencies, they decide to cooperate with two of the most brutal regimes of the 20th century, maybe in history. And I think that part of the reason they do it is obviously to advance themselves, but they always have this sense that they are the more moral people in this brutal time. Like they are the good forces, even if they are working for these horrendous bureaucracies. So it was like a sort of irony. But many people ask me all the time, what is good people? And I said, I don't know, and I'm not a good person anyway. One is Thomas Heiselberg from Germany. He's an almost genius marketing researcher. We're talking about 1938 in Germany. He's working for an American company, and he's very brilliant in his job. And then when the American company leaves Germany, he decides to work for the Nazi Foreign Office, but he brings all his experience from the American company to the Nazi Foreign Ministry. He's like a capitalist bug inside the Nazi bureaucracy. And the other one, Sasha, Aleksandra Weissberg, she's the daughter of a very intellectual family, a family of poets, and her parents are being arrested when she's very young, 22, and in order to save her brothers, this is what she claims, she's becoming an editor confession for the Soviet secret police, which means she's like a literary editor, only instead of working for a publishing house like Alfaguara, she's working for the Soviet secret police. I think it was interesting because it's not a Holocaust novel. The novel specifically doesn't deal with the Holocaust. It deals with a totally different thing. It deals with two characters and their imaginary journey inside the Soviet regime and the Nazi regime. So in Israel, in the beginning, people were a bit, bewildered by the novel. What's the intention? Why should you write it? What's the connection between this novel and the Holocaust in the Israeli literature? But I think step by step, people that began to read the novel and understand what were the goals of the novel, which are different than the regular goals of Holocaust book, tend to appreciate it. And I think it has a significance in the history of the discussion in Israel about the Second World War, because this perspective about perpetrators, I mean, like bourgeois perpetrators, is now part of the discussion in Israel. It was translated to German. It's sort of this dystopia, a combination between realism, fantasy, and a bit speculative literature. It's about someone who can enter other people's dreams and then return them the dreams in the form of a memory. So basically, he has like a rare power to take all these dreams that you remember in the morning, like bits of dreams, and gives you the dream like a fleshy story, a full story, and then plant it in your mind in the form of a memory. So he's totally like changing the borders between memory and dreams, and also he can enter the mind of other people. And what's interesting in the book is not just that he can enter the mind of other people, but what happens to him when the dreams of thousands of people are screaming inside his consciousness. So this is a very different novel than Good People. And it's taking place in Israel. in Tel Aviv. I think the remaker of Dvarim, World Shadow, and Good People have some common ground. I think it deals a lot with the mask that people keep changing, and the question, does the mask hide the real face, or does the combination of masks is the real face? Does anyone have any real face? And so it deals with this, and I think it also deals with different ways to enter the human consciousness. One is with the remaking of dreams, which is like more psychological dystopia, and the other one is like more like action-driven novel, like Good People, when people take responsibility and decisions. And the new one is like taking place in different places in the world. It's like about the global capitalism. So I think that this phase when you go out to the world and you want to gain something, and you encounter the forces, different forces in the world. So this encounter between the individual and the forces of the world is very strong in all of them.